Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is me, JuiceJitero, your incredibly flaky jiu-jitsu commentator. My computer broke pretty badly and I lost everything, so that's why I didn't do a show when I said I would. Yeah, sorry about that, but that's what happens when you think you know what you're doing with computers. But that's okay, that's fine. We have some jiu-jitsu to watch. We're going to watch a white belt match from the 2010 Jiu-Jitsu American Nationals. These two are middleweights. They're in coloured gis, which is nice. That's a favourite of mine. There was a post on Reddit today I was going to cast, but I didn't get to watch the whole video and plan anything for it. The guy does want feedback though, so that does look like something that I'll look at in the future. Let's do it. Today, lovely YouTube won't let me change the volume. It's either on or it's off. So we're going to turn it off because otherwise it's too loud and you can't hear me, and I'm the most important thing here. Okay, so we've got our blue friend on the left, white friend on the right. Let's watch. That was an okay shoot. Overall, I think probably way too far out. Go back. Okay, let's have a watch. So he shoots. He goes for the fake, but not really. So he's shooting from here. Ideally, as we saw in the last video, ideally you want to have your foot in the center here, or you could wrap it around the outside and sort of try to sweep him directly backwards. Another problem he's going to run into is his head is down, and you can see his body here has got the line. Ideally you don't want that at all. You want to be upright and have your hips hitting into their leg, so he's far too far away from here. White is able to sprawl, and he's doing fine. He goes double under here. That can be a bit risky. Ideally, you'd sort of want to get a 1 over 1 under. And I'm talking about these arms here. They're both under the armpits. If Blue wanted to drive this leg sort of underneath himself and then turn his head out, he would be able to end up on top of White here, because he's not going to be able to control Blue's shoulders and hips enough. White's got his leg really far back. If I was Blue, I'd abandon that and either go to guard or do the sit out and see how he goes from there. Right now he really needs to let go of those pants. He's probably not going to get them back. Letting them go doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to lose them forever. It just means that he's lost them for now. If they stay in turtle and White does bring his legs back up, you can go back for that single, but you do have to watch out. Especially also, there's a bunch of stuff you can do. You can do crucifixes and stuff. If Blue puts one of his hands in between White's legs, White will be able to do a lot of lovely techniques to him. Sitting up, he's sort of grabbing the pants. If you wanted to sit up, I'd prefer to see him grab the hips, which he does seem to be moving to now, as I think that would probably be better to keep White away and to base yourself on. White, being the smart competitor, charges right into his guard. He did try to prevent the leg coming up in here. He does have a grip on that pant leg, but Blue does close the guard. And that was a smart thing to do, I think. If I was White, I wouldn't get too stressed about trying to pass immediately, especially after he's just defended the takedown. Right now, he's got his arm, he's trying to pass, he's trying to put this knee up the butt and put this leg out. The problem with what he's doing though is he's not using his arm enough. Blue's been able to get underneath it. So ideally right now I'd like to see White lock his forearm down and try to really control those hips there, whereas it looks like he's getting a little bit too raised with his posture to pass. Right now there's definitely an armbar opportunity. if Blue wanted to throw his feet over the head, I'd be able to armbar him beautifully. So yeah, that is something that White would need to watch out for here. Yeah, ideally I'd like to see him go around this arm here, because this arm, Blue's arm, is underneath White's arm. Ideally I'd like to see White move his arm to the hips. And so getting reset into the middle, as we love to see in all of these videos. And that lovely little bit of confusion. Let's watch that again. When they're both not sure to go, and they do this sort of awkward handshake. Oh, I love that. Right now, White is going over with both of his arms. That's pretty risky. He should really be looking at controlling the hips a bit more rather than the chest. There's not too much that Blue can do using his chest, but there's a whole bunch he can do using his hips. He should be looking at breaking the grips of this collar, and then yeah, start looking at passing. Good bit of grip fighting here. Blue's got a very good grip here, going inside the sleeve, going inside. Very good grip. Very good in the guard, especially. White's still got this hand a bit high. If it was just down a bit, he'd probably be a bit more successful with what he's trying to do. If anyone ever gets this grip on you, you can run your wrist around the outside and go on top, and then control their arm that way. Right now his posture isn't too good. You can see the curve in his back, and he's also starting to turn side on, which may open him up to a few sweeps. Even just a simple scissor sweep would be there if he's not too careful. Another thing that could happen is Blue could come around to the back, not so much from this position, but if he keeps turning around, it'll become easier over time. There's that armbar opportunity from leaving your arm too straight and on the chest. You can see you've still got the grip on the lapel here, and that's something you really want to watch out for when you're doing it. It's got his feet crossed, not ideal, but it's working. Okay, right now what White wants to do is he wants to come around like he's doing right now. Controlling the leg is okay, and he wants to come up. There was a leg drag opportunity there. If we were right here, if he wanted to bring his leg around Blue's feet and then leg drag, he would be in a much better position than he ends up in. Good sweeping opportunity here for Blue. We'll just watch that one again as White tries to come forward. Blue's able to get this beautiful hook here. Doesn't use his right arm though. Could perhaps find a use for it, but in the heat of the moment it can be hard to use everything. Good hook, good sweep attempt, and he does get on top. Not the cleanest sweep, but definitely better. Blue's got a really good base here. You can see his feet his knees are out quite wide. And yeah, he's where he wants to be. And he's also not making the mistake that White was making before. Blue is controlling the hips more than he is controlling the chest. Not too much going to happen right now. White's using that grip again, but not as strong with the grips. And Blue is really trying to get to the hips and start working a pass. What he's wanting to do now is put that knee up the butt, the same pass that White was doing before. Put the knee up the butt, put this foot up, and then sit back. It's a really solid pass at white belt level. His hand is starting to get a little bit high again, which could see an armbar opportunity from White. But he does have this arm where it needs to be, on the hips. Okay, I think he's recognised the opportunity for an armbar, and White is going to try and capitalise on that. Right now, controlling the hips. This is why it's important to control the hips. See, his hands are right here. He's not leaning too far back. So when White sits up to do this, all Blue has to do is just push down on his hips and lean forward. and he'll be able to defend it. Shouldn't have moved this hand up. I would have preferred to see him use his head. So as white sits up, when we get to here, far out, get to here, I would prefer to see the head on the chest. There is a guillotine opportunity here, and also if white wants to grab this arm over and then get under that armpit there, he'll be able to control the arm. Isn't able to do either, and they do get reset back towards the middle. Blue's looking at the clock and the score, and he's looking a little bit tired. 2.5 minutes in, back to passing the guard. Blue's still doing good, controlling those hips. See, his hands are nowhere above the hips, exactly where they need to be. And white's struggling to sit up. Blue's also putting that knee up the butt, which is going to help him get the legs open when he wants to pass. Hands are getting a little bit high now, not controlling those hips, which gives white a lot more maneuverability. White's really focused on that arm. That's something that a lot of people do when they're first competing. They'll just pull that as much as they can, and they'll put everything into it, which is fine. But yeah, as you get higher, you do need to start sort of mixing up your techniques a bit. As you just saw, they throw an armbar. This is never going to work because Blue's already got his elbow out. Might be able to armbar the forearm, but it won't work too well. That was a good little shuffle there. What Blue needed to do right here is drop that elbow to his leg, and then either come and put his head between the legs again, or try to stack white up while keeping that elbow out. This is why you control the hips, because hips give you a lot of movement. With the movement, white's able to sort of jump up the arm a little bit and put that arm on. Note he's not crossing his feet like Blue did before, but he's also not using his leg. Blue's grabbed along the knee there, which is a very strong position for him to be in. Be careful about jumping in your opponent's guard. This is a good attempt at passing. He does need this arm on the other side of the leg though, if he wants to pass that way. Right now he should drop that knee across and go for a knee through pass and go into half guard or side control if he can. What he should not do is do this and jump. That's a very risky move, especially in guard. It does look like there's potential for a sweep, but the technique's not there. Immediately, as soon as Blue gets back to the guard, he's passing again. That is exactly what you want to see. That is not what you want to see though. He's got the hand in the stomach, hand on the hips, and he's putting the knee up the butt and passing backwards. That looked more like a fall than white doing anything particularly interesting. Big grip fighting on the arms. Ideally, you don't want to start trying to grip fight them in their guard. It's a lot easier for you to make mistakes than it is for them. Once again, they're leaving these arms way too extended up on the chest. White did just attempt an armbar there, but wouldn't be successful. When you get your opponent forward like this, I'd like to see white underhook this arm here and trap it down. That'll break Blue's posture as well as give him the opportunity for an armbar. But yeah, he missed the opportunity there. That's okay. Good grip fighting here. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired. Good grip fighting, still controlling the hips. This is a good active match. While not too much technique is happening, there's certainly, some good stuff happening. Good grip fighting, good control of posture. Right now you can see how Blue's got the knee up the butt. This pass won't be as effective because White's hips are on Blue's knee, which sort of negates the effects of the knee up the butt. What we do see though is a triangle attempt. Blue mustn't have been grabbing the pants just then, or else White wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, he was controlling more the hips, but not particularly well. Triangle attempt does go up. Sloppy triangle attempt. He probably shouldn't have thrown it. And Blue is able to come around right now. Go away. Okay, right now Blue needs to be careful and conscious of what he does, and he needs to be slow and methodical about it. He doesn't need to rush this pass. He's in a great position with the gear over the head, and the triangle isn't really on his head, he's sort of out. Right now I'd like to see him grab the collar, not this weird backhanded head thing that he's doing. Grab the collar and then start to stack White up, and I think he'd get around a lot more efficiently than he is right now. The gear's really preventing the choke here. That's unfortunate, and somewhat an illegal technique. There we go. Okay, back again. That was a gorgeous sweep. I love that sweep, and I love seeing people do it. This is the counter to when someone puts their knee up the butt to pass you. We've seen Blue fall over before, and this is what happens when you pass sloppily. So you can see White starts to sort of open his legs a bit. Foot across the hip, perfect. He's got his right foot running along the left leg along the shin of Blue, and then just scissors. And if he gets on top, that's 2 points. So right now the score will be 2-all. Not much of an open guard from either of them, but depending on the white belt level, you can't expect too much of an open guard game. Once again, back into Turtle. This is an entry for a crucifix. If White hooks his arms under the arms over here of Blue, then he either dives forward or rolls backwards. He's got the crucifix, but he's not aware of the technique, I guess. Good sprawl, good posture of everything, and fantastic pass. Right now they've both got to fight pretty hard, as the score is 2-all, and we're coming towards the end of the match. He is about to pass. He's doing well. Looking a little bit risky with everything. Sort of going to the mount and side control and stuff. We'll just sort of go back here. Right now, Blue's in a terrible position. He has to get his feet to drive forward and get up to more of a legitimate turtle, or roll to his side and try to go to a guard. White's doing everything right here. All he needs to do is really just drive forward. An alternative would be to get this right leg to go over onto the top of Blue to go into sort of a mount, or he could be able to come around to the back and then get a seatbelt grip and perhaps either go to mount, side control, or take back. Blue's doing alright controlling his hip, but that's more of just sort of a get away from me than it is anything decent. Good half guard grab, good attempt to get to mount there by White. Yeah, it just sort of gets lifted and jumps a bit. We did see Blue have some good hook sweeps before, so I guess that comes back to that. Right now, White's got this hand here, and we'll see him go for, here it comes, the Ezekiel choke. Good attempt, but nothing too much. Right now, White's won this. He's got the hooks in, which is a very smart move. Blue should have tried to defend that a bit more. What he needs to be doing is turning the opposite way. Yeah, I guess it was harder for him. Ideally, I'd like to see him let go of this arm, start pushing on that knee to get it into a better half guard, better lock on their leg, and then start rolling in towards White, getting an underhook and perhaps going for some other techniques. Unable to do that though, he does roll over. White sees opportunity, dives both of his hooks in. You can see the ref here gives the 4 points. If I was white, I would be very happy about now. Right now he doesn't need to do too much. And there's the end of the match. Standing up, a bit of a hug, a bit of a bow. Swap sides, boys. And there we go. Mr. White has won the match. If you haven't seen this guy, you need to get on that. This guy just abuses jiu-jitsu. Freddy's Modern Kung Fu into YouTube. Just enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed my voice, my broken computer, my terrible videos. I hope everything's good. I hope, we're keeping consistent. If you want any feedback, comments, subscribe if you want. Other than that, have an excellent week. Train some jiu-jitsu. Enjoy your techniques. And send me videos. Really, send me videos. I need that. And if you've got any tournaments that you need commentating for, let me go. JuiceJitero out.